Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Shimmer I'll be doing my next 5-star predictions video. So hopefully this time around I will not spend like 2 years on this video or just reading the books that I have predicted, but these are books that I think will be 5 stars, hence 5-star predictions, and hopefully they will live up to my expectations because I have very high expectations obviously for all of these books. And unlike the last time I did this, I am going to just do one book for a series. So for example, if there are multiple books in a series and I just want to read the next one, or I think just that one's gonna be a 5-star prediction, I'm just gonna say that one particular book. I'm not gonna say that book plus the subsequent books because that just makes this list so much longer, and I think I learned that last time. So hopefully, you know, like by limiting myself to just one singular book, so total just 10 books exactly, this will not take that long, I'm hoping. So the first book I think will be a 5 stars is Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. I just think this will be a 5-star prediction because I really enjoyed his previous book, The House on the Cerulean Sea. That book was just so whimsical. I love the character development, just all the friendships, everything, that I have very high hopes for this book. They're not related whatsoever, but I don't know, I just feel like I fell in love with his writing style, so I'm really hoping that this will continue in this next book. The next book that I'm expecting to be a 5-star read is House of Sky and Breath. I feel like most people would think this would be a 5-star read for me, or just in general for everyone, and I'm very excited for it. I read the first book, obviously, really enjoyed it, and definitely cannot wait to see like what happens next and just see like what's going to happen with everything, because there was so much at stake at the end of the first book, so I'm very excited. Okay, then this next book that I picked up is partially a cover prediction because this cover is absolutely stunning, plus I've heard so much recent news about it that I'm very excited for it, and that is Daughter of the Moon Goddess. This book just looks so beautiful, and all I know is I'm supposed to follow like Chang'e, which is the moon goddess of China or like Chinese mythology, and I'm just like super curious how this book will portray Chang'e because I don't really know too much about this mythology or the goddess herself, and so I'm just curious to see how like everything will play out. But I've heard really good rave reviews already, so I'm very excited for this one. Then this next book is Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. This is a thriller mystery novel. I put this up here because I feel like, to be honest, I read a few of her books before and I've loved every single one. They've been like all 5-star read. I don't think I rated any of the books I read that were under 5 stars or like 4.5. So I think that with that in mind, this will be a 5-star read as well. It's just something about her books and the atmosphere and the edge of my seat, the page turners, they all like just fit really well for me particularly, so I have very high expectations for this one. Then this next one is This Woman Kingdom. Obviously this book is super high on my list. I really enjoy the Shadow Me series, so I mean I still actually need to finish up that series. I don't know what I've been doing, but the first trilogy, like the original trilogy, I absolutely adored. I fell in love with everything about it, the stories, the characters, the romance, like the heartache, just all the obstacles that they faced, and I even enjoyed her contemporary book. So I feel like with that in mind, I think that this book will be really high on my list of books that I will absolutely adore when I read it this year, because I mean so far like all of her books I've really enjoyed. The next one is A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. Obviously this is on here because she's pretty much a must-buy / must-read author for me. I read some of her books before and I really adored it. I didn't catch up on her books honestly because she has come out like multiple books since then. I don't think I picked them up yet, but I do have copies of them. I just haven't had the time to read them yet. But this is her most recent one and I'm really excited. I believe this is her like adult debut book, so I don't know how like her writing will change because the books I read previously were young adult, so I'm very curious to see like how that shift will be for Rebecca Ross and just the story. Obviously I'm just really excited for this book. Then this next book is Jade City, and this is a book and a series that has been discussed a lot throughout the internet, Bookstagram, Booktube, Book Talk, like everywhere I've seen this book being raved about, that I don't know what I've been doing. I just need to pick up this book. All I know is that it's something to do with like Shanghai and like jade as some sort of like power source, I think. But obviously it is set in Asia. I want to say it's like Shanghai or Hong Kong. I'm not entirely sure, but I have very high hopes for it. I feel like a lot of people really enjoy this series, like in general. So I'm just gonna pick up the first book, and like I feel like that will be my 5-star prediction, but I'm hoping that the whole series will be a 5-star prediction, you know what I mean? But yeah, for the sake of this video though, I'm just going to do the first book and let you guys know how I feel about it when I do a follow-up video later. Okay, then this next one's one I'm really excited for, and that's Winterkeep. This is the next book in the Graceling series by Kristin Cashore. I really enjoyed this series back in high school, and that's been like, it's like over 10 years ago, but I just remember really enjoying it. And when she wrote a book that came out, like I want to say like 2 years ago or so, I've been meaning to pick it up. I just haven't had the chance to or the time to yet, but this year I'm going to change that and I will pick it up. So I'm very excited to see like this continuation, because I thought that series was done, like it was over, it's done. It's been like 10 years since the last book in the series. I think it was like Bitter Blue, that I didn't expect an update or like a new book coming out. So I'm very like, you know, invested to see like what will happen and see if this series will kind of like hold up to my memories of it back in high school. All right, then this next book is Jade Fire Gold. I've just heard a lot about it recently. I have very high expectations. Honestly, the cover is really pretty, but I do have the Fairy Loot edition. Obviously I don't have any of these books right now. I mean, I do, but they're all in my boxes. So like I haven't actually unboxed everything yet. I'm still very much in the unpacking stage. Well, no, I'm actually in the furniture assembly stage right now. So I'm figuring out like all the furnitures that I need to assemble first before I can even like unbox everything, because I don't want to unbox it and then have to move furniture around, because that would include my bookshelves, and it is really hard to move bookshelves when it is packed with books. So I've just been like holding off on it. So everything that I have right now are just, I will have them in the future once I unpack everything, just not right this moment. With that being said though, I'm really excited for this book. I've heard great things. The cover is stunning. I just feel in my bones that this book will be really good. Then the last and final book that I have on here is A Court of Silver Flames. Yes, I have not read this book yet. I have been, I don't know, procrastinating. I don't know, I just feel like once I pick up this book, it's gonna be really hard for me to not want to pick up the next book immediately, that I'm just like debating if I should just wait until the next book. But I don't think that's going to be out until another year or so. I don't know, actually I didn't check Goodreads, but I do know that House of Sky and Breath is coming out in February, so I feel like it might alternate between like the books. I have no idea, guys. I just feel like I'm just saying random things. I have no idea if this is actually like true or not, but I just know that, or I feel like I will have a very hard time waiting for the next book once I read this one, which is why I've been procrastinating. But this is definitely a 5-star prediction, just because, I mean, it's about Nesta. Like, I'm so curious about Nesta and Cassian. I've been invested in their relationship since the first series, so obviously I want to know what happens next between the two of them and see like their relationship and their dynamics. So I don't know, we'll see. Like, I'm very excited for this one. Okay, so these are all the books that I am mentioning this time around, my 5-star predictions, just top 10 books basically. I'm very excited to go through all of them and read them this year. I mean, that's kind of my goal this year, is just to read books in my 5-star predictions video and give a summary, like an update at the end of the year, because I went to that last year, or like 2 years ago when I first did my original one, and it failed miserably. So this year I'm really hoping to get that done. But yeah, I'm excited to read all these books. Let me know down below if you have read any of these books before, and if you gave them like 1 or 2 stars for any of these, please let me know down below. I'm very curious to find out why that is the case. But as always, if you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up. It really does help my channel. And if you can see more content of me, please don't hesitate to subscribe down below, as well as hit the notification bell. As always, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.